Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're decoding one of the most absolutely fascinating success stories of our modern era. We're going to dive deep into how a fiercely passionate, famously obsessive teenager completely tore up the rulebook for digital success. You know, in a landscape where trends come and go in the blink of an eye, the story of Jimmy Donaldson, the guy we all know as MrBeast, proves that sheer, unadulterated personality, unshakable determination, and an absolute obsession with your craft can, quite literally, change the world.
$2.6 billion. I mean, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around that, right? We aren't talking about some legacy tech company or a massive Hollywood studio here. And the craziest part, this isn't a story about corporate greed. It's the story of the relentless drive of one single individual who completely hacked the attention economy. But to truly grasp how he achieved this monumental figure, we actually have to look past the money. We have to focus intensely on the unique, unapologetic personality behind it. Because in his early days, he constantly heard things like this. All you do is talk about YouTube videos. You're obsessed with it. Get a life. He definitely wasn't seen as some tech visionary back then. Honestly, he was seen as this weird, obsessive kid by his peers, and even his own mother. But here's the kicker. That exact obsession, that singular, unyielding focus that kind of made him an outcast, that was the very engine that would eventually power his entire empire. Which brings us to the ultimate question framing our whole analysis today. How exactly did a college dropout, someone who was actually kicked out of his own home for refusing to give up his dream, build a $2.6 billion empire? What kind of intense psychological resolve does it take to make that massive leap? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we break down his incredible struggle and his ultimate triumph.
Section 1. The Struggle and the Turning Point. All right, let's look at the timeline. Born in 1998, Jimmy uploaded his first video at just 13 years old. And what you really need to understand here is that for the next 5 years, he experienced practically zero fame. 5 grueling years of posting videos from his mom's house in North Carolina to a tiny, tiny audience. Then we hit the pivotal moment in 2017. He enrolls at East Carolina University, but actually drops out after just 2 weeks. Why? So he could sit in his car on campus and edit videos all day. His mother was so utterly disappointed, she kicked him out of the house. Now, most people would just quit right there, right? But Jimmy's stubborn personality simply wouldn't allow it. Instead, he doubled down. And that sheer, relentless stubbornness led to a massive breakthrough in 2017. 100,000. After half a decade of grinding in total obscurity, he sat down and filmed himself doing something completely unprecedented. He counted from 1 to 100,000. In a single continuous video. Actually, scratch that. It wasn't just unprecedented. It was almost insane. But it was exactly the kind of bizarre spectacle the platform needed. It grabbed the attention of millions and finally put the name MrBeast on the map. The main takeaway here completely changed his trajectory. Audiences crave the unprecedented. Counting to 100,000 forged his core philosophy. He realized that to succeed, he had to completely 100% refuse to imitate others. He had to use his wildly unique, obsessive personality to create things the world had literally never seen before. He wasn't going to follow the trends anymore. He was going to force the trends to follow him. Moving right along to Section 2, Decoding the Viral Formula. So while his obsessive personality is the engine, his deeply strategic mind is the steering wheel. He engineered the perfect viewer trap, and it's deeply rooted in audience psychology. Step 1. He hijacks your attention with exaggerated titles and super expressive thumbnails. Step 2. A rapid-fire first-minute hook that leaves absolutely zero time for boredom. Step 3. He sustains it with entirely unique, unprecedented concepts. And Step 4. He underscores the whole thing with a fanatical commitment to quality over profit. Every single second of his content is meticulously engineered for absolute audience retention. And this brings us to a brilliant paradox that totally defines his character. He said, "I don't care about making money, I just want to make the best videos on the planet." Now, I know that sounds crazy coming from a literal billionaire, but it's the absolute truth of who he is. His utter obsession with pushing the boundaries of quality, his willingness to reinvest every single penny back into his content, that is exactly what generated his billions in the first place. To really visualize that obsession, just look at what it creates. Recreating the Squid Game series with a massive multi-million-dollar budget, strapping an actual FBI agent to a chair for $100 grand, crashing a full-size train into a giant pit. I mean, come on, these are massive cinematic events, born from an uncompromising imagination. This is exactly what happens when you combine an obsession for quality with absolutely insane production budgets. Section 3. An empire of numbers. Let's look at the stats. 300 million. He became the first individual to completely shatter this subscriber ceiling. And what this proves is that raw, unfiltered passion actually scales globally. He completely redefined what the upper limit of digital audience building even looks like. Then, blasting past 400 million subscribers on his main channel, he essentially built an audience larger than most countries. And they are all tuning in because they deeply resonate with his absolute, unwavering dedication to entertaining them. Combining all his channels, he surpassed 500 million total subscribers. 500 million! This isn't just algorithmic luck, guys. It's the result of deeply understanding human psychology and knowing exactly what keeps people mesmerized. His cultural gravity is just so strong that when a brand new social platform, Threads, launched, he hit 1 million followers almost instantly. You see, his audience isn't loyal to a specific app or platform. They are fiercely loyal to him, following his personality wherever he decides to go. And 44. That is the staggering number of Guinness World Records broken during a single production of his Amazon Prime show, Beast Games. It's a pure testament to a competitive drive that simply refuses to settle for good enough.
Section 4. Generosity as a business strategy.
There is a massive, fascinating duality to his empire. On one side, you have the massive $1.5 billion commercial ventures, right? Feastables chocolate bars, MrBeast burger, and Beast Games. But on the exact opposite side, you have staggering philanthropy, funding 1,000 cataract surgeries so blind people can literally see again, giving away fully furnished houses to those in need, and running a massive charity arm. He somehow seamlessly blends massive capitalism with life-changing charity. The psychology behind this is absolutely vital to his success. His philanthropy isn't just some clever PR stunt. Because of his genuine personality, it creates deeply moving human moments. Viewers aren't just tuning in for a quick laugh anymore. They are emotionally invested in his success. They watch him use his power to literally change lives. And that forges a fiercely loyal fan base that simply cannot be replicated by anyone else. So, the ultimate MrBeast playbook? It's simple on paper, but incredibly hard to execute. Passion must precede money. You need years of patient perseverance. Remember, he survived incredible failure early on. You must think outside the box with wild ideas, possess a ruthless investment in quality, and above all, maintain authentic relatability despite all the wealth. He proves for sure that true success comes to those who dare to obsess differently. The real limits aren't in technology or resources, are they? They're in our imagination and our resolve. So, as he continues to shatter literally every boundary known to digital media, I want to leave you with this question to chew on. What is the next impossible feat this legendary beast will pull off? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.